Hello there, welcome back everyone, I am Ben the Bold and you are watching our Punic Prosperity campaign. That's right, we are the nation of Carthage and we are, well, we're trying out the new Livy update. So I'm going to go ahead and press the unpause button since I barely got around to doing that in the last episode. We are going to go ahead and move these 22 boats along with these 13,000 men to Sardinia. I actually will probably be looking to recruit a few more men here in Sardinia. I believe they have iron here. Let's go ahead and I think let's build some hoplites. I'm gonna build just 2 of them. There are 3 of them for now, and I could think about getting another supply train. I don't know necessarily how bad the attrition's gonna be yet, so let's just leave it with 2 supply trains for now. And we are fabricating a claim to grab the island of Sardinia. I think the faster we can lock down Sardinia, the better. And indeed, maybe we should even think about moving in and colonizing the rest of Corsica, and when we get a chance, taking it from Etruria. Of course, this will lead us into conflict with Rome, and I do actually think that I want to let Rome kind of be Rome for a little while. I don't necessarily want to try to smash Rome before they can get super powerful. I instead would love it if Rome did get super powerful. Alright, let's see what this event is. The Suffate Philip. Okay, so it looks like we have another friend. You know what? Yeah, I'll take another friend. Fine. We have lots of people looking for our grain. That's okay. We actually should probably be a little concerned about our food situation as well. It looks like we actually are taking positive food now. That's good. Shoring up defenses. Sulky could gain 1 fortress. Oh, so Sulky is this little thing, or this little city here. It's on Sardinia. I'm about to go to war in Sardinia. It seems that it is my major port, or my major city in Sardinia, so I think I'm going to go ahead and actually say let them continue. Yeah, definitely want... Hey, it's a free fort. Not going to complain about that. We are continuing... Actually, I really haven't even looked. I guess we have some territory to colonize out here. Eventually, I know I want to push into Iberia, although I have a feeling that some of the new missions will kind of push me that way after I finish this mission, or I guess I could abort the mission. Although, after I finish the Pearl of Africa mission, I have a feeling maybe we'll start to be pushed into Iberia. We'll have to see. We can go ahead and start that as well. I think the missions try to react organically to how we're playing, so if we're doing a lot of conquest in Iberia, then maybe the mission system will be more likely to put a mission that would kind of incentivize conquest in Iberia. But I don't know, we'll just have to see. Looks like we could become friends with one of these tribal chieftains, sure. We are getting there as far as our claim fabrication goes. They have entered in the mercantile stance. I should also think about my stance. We're in the mercantile stance. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take that. So right away, we are actually consuming food with this army. So we need to see, we have 132 food, 132.2. And we're actually gaining food per month because we're in our own territory. And so from units resupplying in territory in province, we have... Okay. Alright, so interesting. So we're gaining 2 food per month to our army. But it's currently full. Because we could give it more food capacity if we increase the number of supply train cohorts we created. So they're not going to take any attrition until they run out of food. Alright, cool. Very interesting, very interesting. I'm liking it so far. I should also maybe think about, where are my... Do I have any other armies? I have 7,000 men over here. Is this really the only other army I have? Yes, indeed it is. Alright, so I definitely will probably need to be building more troops. Let's go ahead and move these light infantry to Carthage, just so that we have soldiers at the ready, just in case anything were to kick off. Again, for now, I think my first war is going to be over Sardinia. I think that's a good training war to see how this new supply system works. I'm really excited about the supply system. I think it should add a lot more depth to warfare in the game. I also like that it gives me the that it now gives me the enslavement efficiency for every army. Did it do that before? I don't necessarily remember seeing this little button here, or this little display option. Ooh, I can also detach the support units. Interesting. I wonder why I would do that. I guess I could detach support, send some of the support units back to resupply, and kind of constantly be filtering in and out. Really, man, that would mean that you would really have to protect those supply lines, which is good. That's what I want. So far, I mean, I've barely played the new Livy update, but so far I'm feeling pretty good about it. One of the things I'm most excited about, and I haven't played too much with it yet, but is just the characters. Alright, so we have finished the claim fabrication. I'm just really excited that we no longer have just all these families to deal with. All of them are going to be upset with me. Now, I like the fact that, hey, some of them, you know, some of the major families want jobs. Others, well, they'll take jobs, but it's not necessarily that big a deal if they don't have any. And I think as you get bigger, we can get more great families. I don't know if there's a max. I don't know if there's a minimum. But yeah, Carthage is one of the bigger countries at the beginning of the game. They start out with an overwhelmingly dominant fleet, which, you know, gives them a leg up in the early game. I know this. It hopefully will be pretty easy for me to conquer Iberia. That would give me just a huge power base. I remember there used to be just a couple, like, decisions to found, like, Nuevo Carthage, or New Carthage, in Iberia. It looks like probably those have been moved to the mission system, so that'll be something that we should keep our eye out for. Alright, so our claim is finished. Let's go ahead and declare war. All of our allies, man, we have a lot of allies. All of our allies will join. Their ally will join as well. I don't necessarily think we'll have to bring in more troops from the mainland. We might. Unfortunately, our Senate doesn't necessarily love that idea, so forcing this through is going to increase tyranny a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and grab Sardinia while we have the chance. Alright, and immediately their fort starts, its zone of control starts taking some provinces, but I think we'll... I don't think we're going to make it to the fort in time to stop it, but we are going to go ahead and take a major victory. We are going to really wipe out one of their entire armies, I think. Do we have elephants? Yeah, we do. I'm excited to play with these elephants. Alright, so really just our light infantry engaged there. That's alright. Okay, so now let's take a look. We are not currently taking any attrition because we are eating the food. So let's take a look. Our food capacity, we are eating 2.96 food per month. No. How much are we eating per month? Alright, yeah, we are eating 2.96 food per month. So we have quite a bit of time to take this fort. Sorry, I'm just trying to read all these little tooltips, trying to figure it all out. They also... Do we get to see when they're taking attrition? Yes. Of course, they just went ahead and took that city. Alright, looks like our feudatories and our allies, our client states, are starting to move troops in. So this war should start going a little bit more in our favor. You know what? I'll go ahead and trade some fish away. After all, our economy is heavily dependent on commerce. Well, I think I'm going to hold on to the grain for now. So I love the fact that we are not taking any attrition. That's kind of great. It also means we have to kind of campaign a little bit more instead of just moving from one siege straight to the other. I might think about moving my army back to my own territories to resupply. I also might think, well, which would be better? Would it be better to have just a couple really, really big stacks that carried a lot of food with them, or a bunch of smaller stacks that maybe don't eat as much food? I don't know. We'll have to see. I want to say that a couple big stacks would be kind of the way to go. Alright, so we're going to win that siege. That's pretty easy. We actually have a ton of food left, and now we actually start to replenish our food. So we get 8 food per month. So this army is in a location where they could regain food supply. Last month it gained 11. The food supply changes by +8 each month. Alright. Cool, cool, cool. In need of assistance. Alright, so the representative of the civic faction, Himiliko Barca, has taken it upon himself to call in a favor. It would cause some embarrassment if we were to decline it. Very well, we have the money to spend. So they were, I think, building a supply train. Alright, so let's go ahead and make sure that they don't build that. We are going to fight this little army of 500 men. That's going to be an easy victory, I have a feeling. And, of course, easy victory. Let's go ahead and I think we'll just march straight on to Haidata. We'll let our feudatories and vassals take care of all of the smaller armies. Let us just go in and try to capture the 2 major fortresses. I think we're going to have plenty of food to do this. And, yeah, I'm already loving the fact that I'm not worrying about attrition because I have those supplied wagons. It just adds an extra element to the game. I wish, though, because I still feel like you should have some attrition, even if you are fully stocked on food, just because, like, even armies that were well fed, they were just breeding grounds for disease and whatnot, so I feel like you should have just a minuscule amount of attrition, and we're talking like 0.05 or 0.5% of a percent, not, you know, a full 1% even. But, because yeah, sieges were not just detrimental because of food shortages, but, I mean, if anything, they were detrimental for food shortages for the people in the siege. But in history, I think it was disease that was really the culprit for those actually doing the sieging. Ooh, and we get our first city on fire. Well, that's a shame. It's one of my cities. Lame. I love the new map updates, though. I mean, how beautiful is that? I mean, obviously it's not really beautiful considering it's one of my cities, but it is something that I appreciate. I'm going to go ahead and pause it for a second. Let's come down to Carthage, and let's hit this Entice Business Investments button. And I'm also going to... Well, I don't have enough money to build any buildings, so we'll entice the business investment. Also, when I get a chance, I will need to turn this settlement into a city. I will need 200 gold and 50 political influence, so I've got a little ways to go. But that will satisfy another one of my missions. Let's see how our food situation's holding up. Alright, so we have currently 116, so we're going to take these forts pretty easily. And having those 2 supply wagons were very, very helpful, I think, in the end. In fact, maybe 2 supply wagons is just way overkill for the amount of soldiers that I have in this army, but... You know, I didn't really know. I didn't know what would happen. I'll get a better feel of it as we go on. Alright, an uphill battle. Our current Sefet Marabal Garibalid represents the interests of the expansionist faction within the Senate and has proposed a number of key reforms to the army, mustering and military supply. They derive from a wide range of experience and evidence provided by a number of retired generals, and, according to Marabal, the efficiency of our recruitment process will be greatly improved, not to mention the advantages to be gained on campaign. However, Kosafate Milkpillies has other ideas, arguing that the cost of such reforms far outweigh any potential benefits, and the state's funds should instead be directed to his proposals for bolstering trade by eliminating tariffs and improving relations. Well, I definitely want us to bolster some trade. Without the support of the Kosafate, Marabal will be hard-pressed to pass the bill through the Senate without dividing the government. Nothing's ever easy. He will attempt to placate Kosafate Milkabus by making concessions from their agenda. So, Milkpillies will gain 5 loyalty, which is good. and we'll gain 15 political influence, which is also good, and an event chain will happen, or I could say that these reforms are essential. Basically, I'll gain some popularity. You know what? I'm going to go with nothing is ever easy. Let's be good Democratic senators, shall we? Oh, looks like we're going to fight a battle real quick after this. Progress in the Senate in an attempt to find common ground. The suffate and co-suffate have been discussing additions to the bill that will be more palatable to the co-suffate and his supporters. Milk Pillies suggests some of the military spending be diverted to fund a pet project that will aim to improve relations with our trading partners and decrease tariffs and other associated costs of affecting our merchants. The changes will cost slightly more than the previously proposed bill, and they may upset our generals and the more staunch members of the military faction. You know what? I'm going to say that this is going to have to do. I'm going to lose some popularity. We're going to lose 5 support for the military faction, which is actually okay because I think I'm trying to gain support for the mercantile faction anyway. I think it was the mercantile faction I chose. No, did he change his faction? Because I know I didn't have the religious faction as the Shefat. Or did I hire... No, he must have... Did he change his faction? Interesting. Well, he's no good at this job, so I'll probably change that back. I would like the mercantile faction to be in charge, so I'm going to go ahead and say this will have to do. We're going to lose 43 gold, which is a lot of the gold that we have. But we are going to get national commerce income up by 5% as well. Ooh, look at that. Supply limit up by 5%. Manpower recovery speed up by 5%. Diplomatic reputation up by +2. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that this will have to do. Although up to 3 characters with military leanings will lose 10 loyalty. I'm going to say that this will have to do. We're going to win another major battle. Well, that was a pretty minor battle, honestly. And just like that, we're going to sue for peace. Let's go ahead and grab all of Sardinia. Perfect. Alright, a new event, Etruscan Fortunes. After subduing the last of the spirited tribes, the island of Sardinia has finally been fully tamed and our presence established beyond question. From there, the next logical step in our expansion and colonization of the Mediterranean islands is naturally Corsica, Sardinia's smaller brother and former Carthaginian colony. Since the island passed from influence, it has been ruled by the Greeks and the Etruscans, but we are poised to rightfully bring Corsica under Tanit's banner once more. The Etruscans are wily and intelligent people who have aided us against the Greeks in the past. They may be willing to compromise on ownership of the island for the right price. So I could say that Corsica shall be ours. We would gain 10 popularity. We would lose 75 opinion of Etruria. Carthage will gain 5 aggressive expansion and will gain claims on all Etruscan territories. I could say a bargain will be struck. Etruria will receive an offer to sell us all of Etruscan territories in the area of Corsica for 226 gold. Well, I would love to do that, but I just don't have the money for it right now. So instead, I'm going to say Corsica shall be ours. So that's going to give us a little bit of aggressive expansion and actually convince me to keep this army in Sardinia. Because if I keep the army in Sardinia, then it should be relatively easy for me to march up into Corsica. Wait, do I have prisoners abroad? I don't know. We have the following characters imprisoned abroad. Oh, well, that's not great. I wonder what happened there. Was that in my fight? Oh, well. They'll just have to learn to deal with it. So let's go ahead and build onto this army, I think, because they only have 15 food. So let's go ahead and build them a supply train for now, just in case they have to go campaigning. I guess we could also put a general in charge of that. We are not making as much money as I would like at the moment. I could go ahead and just put my fleet maintenance down. In fact, let's go ahead and trade away some livestock. We are gaining food in Carthage, or Carthago. Trade away some fish. After all of these trade routes means more gold. And, of course, if we start to notice that we're starving, we can, of course, bring some of the grain and fish back. Alright, so that's already paying dividends. We're making almost double what we were just making not too long ago. We're not at war. I'm going to go ahead and put my fleet maintenance down. That will allow me to make money much, much faster. We have a bad research ratio, so we should focus our building projects, I think, on some libraries. Let's just go ahead and grab a few more. Go ahead and start, just keep trading things away. We can always divert trade at a later time. Let's see what these two missions are about, because I believe now that we've completed this, we can go ahead and start working on... Oh, so this is an either-or type scenario. Okay, interesting. Alright, so we can do bread and circuses. If we do this, we cannot complete the fruits of Musulamia. Basically, all we have to do is have the province of Musulamia have at least 600 food. What we will get for that is national freeman happiness up for 10 years. Alright, that's fine. Or granary of Africa. Basically, Uzapa is the capital of the province of Musulamia. It has city status and have a greater or equal to 2 granary buildings. So, province of Musulamia. Alright, where is Musulamia? Alright, here is Musulamia. It currently has 400 food, and it cannot actually get any more than that. So what I need to do are build some granaries. Of course, I don't own all of Musulamia, do I? So no, indeed, one of my vassal subjects owns part of Musulamia. But I could create a city. Oh. Although it's this Uzapa that I could... Let's go back to the mission. Granary of Africa. Uzapa... Alright, so... Task is unfulfilled conditions. Has greater or equal to 900 gold. Oh my goodness. 900 gold. I'm not going to have that for a little while. So it looks like I'm going to be looking at bread and circuses. Yeah, because I don't really think I care that much about Uzapa getting a food depot until the end of the game. Food capacity up by 800. That seems a bit extreme. So I think I'm actually going to just go with this. So I am going to build... Is there any buildings that give me food surplus? I don't believe so. No, there's not. So I'll need to turn Uzapa into a city as well. Alright, so I have a couple cities that I need to build. I think I'm still first going to go with this little city here. What's it called? Thracia? Sure. Alright, so we are currently gaining 5.45 food per month to fill up that supply wagon. I'm also going to, well, I'm going to hold off. I want to save my money for a little bit. It appears Rome is expanding nicely. Good. I want to see Rome get big. I want to see Rome become a real challenge. As long as we control the sea, I'm not worried about Rome invading us. You know what? I'll even help you out by giving you a little bit of grain. Meanwhile, I think I'm actually going to go ahead and just build a few more Liburnians to this navy. I don't really see a reason why not. I know I'm trying to save money, but I think it's also very important to make sure that I have plenty of boats, because, well, I'm Carthage. If I don't control the seas, I'm really not that strong. I think I'm going to go ahead and hire you. You're a nobody, so you're not... And you are a member of the mercantile faction, so that's good. And I'm going to go ahead and just start to drill this army. It's going to cost me a little bit of money, but I'm making plenty of cash. And let's go ahead and drill this army as well. Again, cost me a little bit of money, but I have plenty of cash. Fortunately, we're no longer importing precious metals from... What is this? From Sexy? The settlement of Sexy. Well, that has to be a city, doesn't it? It will eventually. Refugees fleeing the war between Calcutta and the Locri have crossed over into land that we consider ours. Whilst letting them settle here would be the humanitarian thing to do, we should consider how this might affect our relations with the neighbor. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and welcome them. Grab a couple more pops. It's always good. I gotta say, these mission trees are quite extensive. I didn't realize how long it was going to take me to do all of these. But yeah, this is going to be a large section of the early game. Just kind of working my way through this. I could, of course, always abort the mission. Looks like we could have another friend. Yeah, I'm going to say that that could be useful, sure. My boats are collecting nicely. I do want to make sure I always have more boats than Rome, and Rome only has 10 right now, so we're good there. So we're going to have an election soon. Next in line is a member of the Civic faction. I guess that's okay. Let's remember that with the Civic faction, we'll get national tax rate up by 20%. That's not bad. Alright, so we have a new ruler. This is Himilco Barca. He is a member of the Civic faction. He was elected to office and will now rule our glorious nation. Civic... Oop. Just gonna have a lot of pirates, I guess. So yeah, we get national tax rate up by 20%. Perfect. We also, it is time for a new omen. So, let's see. Unfortunately, our stability is going to drop with the new ruling party. That's alright. We have a new omen. I think I'm just going to keep going with national citizen output. That seems good to me. I also have some titles that need to be filled. First of all, I don't love your... Chelbicid, a notable family. No, it's not. So, I think I want you out of here. And instead, you're a member of the religious faction. I want someone who will promote the mercantile faction. You're only 25 years old. You're very loyal. You're not a member of a big family. So I'll go ahead and put you in charge. As far as family members go, we're still good. So I don't need to worry about putting anyone of any note in charge of the Ruffet. I don't even know what the Ruffet does. I do still wish that I could see what the character will do. Like here, I can see, oh, hey, this person increases the discipline by 1%. Hey, that's good. That means I definitely want someone really good here. But then, you know, this one, okay, this one decreases the sacrifice to the gods. Well, here I'd be much more willing to put someone in charge that maybe isn't necessarily great, but someone who I just need to, you know, I don't want their family to be scorned, so I want to put them in charge of just kind of a who cares type of job, like sacrifice to the gods cost. I hardly ever hit that button. I don't care if it's minus 6%. So what does the Roffet do? Well, let's find out. I'm gonna go ahead and just hire someone decent at it. And I like the fact that you are in the civic faction, although I would prefer a mercantile faction person. Doesn't appear like I'm gonna get that. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick Yuramilka. Oh, and she gets health up by 0%. Cool. Of course, that will be better as she becomes as he becomes a better statesman. As you can see, as the statesmanship goes up, they become better at their job. So right now, he has an effective rating of 3, but at its peak, if statesmanship were to ever get to 100, he would reach that full 6. So let's check out his statesmanship. It's going up by 0.27 per month. So it really does help to have the same person in charge for a really long amount of time, because they will just get much better at their job. So you wouldn't want to just keep switching out anytime you had like someone who was a better marshal, for instance. Let's go ahead and get some of our military commanders situated. I don't guess the military command would increase statesmanship. We'll go ahead and place you in charge of this navy. Is that going to increase statesmanship? No, it's not. And you are our old emperor, right? Or suffate. So I'll put you in charge of a fleet. You deserve it. Uh-oh, I've just scorned a family. Alright, so I guess because of now that the total number of jobs has changed, all of them want 4 people in a job instead of just 3. So now I have some reworking to do. Okay, I kind of get that. Let's change things up a little bit. So let's go back. I know I just put you in charge, but I'm already going to have to move you out. I don't really want to put the populace in charge. I'll put you in charge of you'll impact my health, or the Suffate's health. Mago. So now your loyalty's going to go up, your statesmanship's going to go up. Perfect. Alright, what other offices could I have? Ooh, I don't have any more armies to hand out. Let's look around. What's something I wouldn't mind changing? I like you in charge, even though you don't have a huge impact. Let's see who else could maybe do this job. You would push me back towards the military faction. I don't really want that at the moment. Alright, so never mind. What about my Tribune of the People, National Freeman Happiness? Alright, so I just need to fill 3 jobs. I could create... Let's go back to the army. Who are you? You are not a major family member, so unfortunately, I can't move you because it's been less than a year. Are you part of a major family? The Barca family. The Barca family historically was big, but I think Barca is different from Barcadid. Or no. No, it's actually not. So, alright. So you are definitely in the major families. What about you? He's the head of the Bondonid family, and you're important as well. Alright, so I think for the time being, I'm just going to have to live with the fact that they dislike me. I'm going to go ahead and maybe put... Wow, you are not great at that, are you? Alright, the influence of the Barca family. Alright, so maybe this is because they're currently scorned, but the fate of the Republic and of the Barca family is and always will be intertwined. It is therefore a matter of great urgency that there are currently not enough Barcadid persons of quality ready to shoulder the responsibilities of the state. Recognizing our plight, 2 of our loyal clients have offered to fill the place that currently cannot be filled by anyone of the right birth? Oh, okay, so they're gonna adopt some people. Okay, so we could get Governor of Magna Graecia. He would become a member of the Barcid family. They will lose 30 family prestige, though. What does family prestige do now? I know that in the past it really didn't do much. Let's go ahead and invite that guy. Governor of Magna Graecia. Let's, maybe Governor of Namibia? Oh, he's the head of the Hanadid family. Cool. Well, as you can see, I'm already paying a lot more attention to... Alright, so yeah, so we could put, like, this guy in charge of that family. Are you scorned? No. Wait. I guess, who's scorned? No one's scorned right now. They all have 4 people except for the Bonadids, who actually have 5. Well, I don't... Okay, sure. We have a new trader out available. I think I'm going to go with... maybe Papyrus still? That'll give me an extra 5% research points. I'm already bringing in some Papyrus, but for each surplus in the province, I get more... Yeah. And for a surplus in the capital, I'll get civic tech investment by plus 5%. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do Papyrus. Alright, we'll keep the game going. Should I try to take Sicily? Or should I go ahead and just give it to Syracuse? I mean, I'm not going to just give up anything. Uh-oh, we're no longer importing wood. That's not good. Do we have any wood? No, we don't. So, we definitely need some of that, though. Because that means we can't not build near as big a ships as we used to be able to. We can build these Hexiers, though. I'm going to go ahead and move this fleet to Carthage proper. I think that's something that should happen. I do wish that, and correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I wish that they would do something similar to attrition. I know they have naval attrition if you get too far away from your home ports, but I wish that you couldn't just roll around the Mediterranean with a death stack, a doom fleet, if you will, where, you know, you just put all of your ships in one navy and they just sail around and smash everything. I wish you had to, like, leave them in fleets of 20 or 30. I think I'm actually going to take the stability here. Juba, rival of a researcher, he's going to gain 20 loyalty. Yeah, I'll take that. Alright, so whether I want it or not, I'm not going to get any wood right now. My food situation's looking good in Carthage, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and go with cloth. It's going to increase my local tax rate by plus 10%. And I have enough political influence to go ahead and grab another provincial investment. I think I'm going to go ahead and do, once again, entice business investments. Let's keep bringing in more money into Carthage. I think that's going to be important. Let's check where we are technology-wise. We are not researching very quickly. We only have 58 research points and we have a bad research ratio. So we are going to be wanting to create more citizens. I also have not bought any inventions yet. I just haven't had the money to do so. And I may not for a little while because I want to create this city in Thracia, or Thracia. I also need to create a city here in Theane. I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of these 2 notifications. I'm not going to be able to do much about them for a little while. I could build some libraries. But I'm going to hold off at least until I started building one of these cities. I already have the claim for Corsica, so I'm I might as well just go ahead and declare war on Corsica. Oh, but they are allied to Rome. Alright, I don't necessarily love that. Also, I don't like that Rome has limited itself. I want you to take Etruria and continue to move north. Are you following your missions, Rome? I'm really hoping that with the new mission system, the Rome AI will be much more, how do I say, realistic to the time period? I want them to expand and I want them to take a bunch of territory. I don't want them to get bogged down in northern Italy fighting Etruria for, you know, the first 100 years of the game, or allied to Etruria and not expanding northward for the first 100 years of the game. That's no fun. I want Rome to be strong. Meanwhile, I am trying to work through my missions. Going for the growth of Thabraca first, and then I'll... You know what? Actually, I think I'm going to do the this one, the Mediterranean Sea Trade, because that's going to give me a bunch of citizens, and having a bunch of citizens will help me to eventually kind of sort out my research ratio a little bit. So I just need 10 more political influence before I can press this little button. I'm getting 2.71 political influence per month. That's very good. I should also think about incorporating some of my subject states. For instance, you are a feudatory. Ooh, a child is born. Good, kudos. So I'm going to go ahead and improve my relations with you. No, that's going to cost me political influence. Don't want to use the political influence quite yet. Let's just get 5 more, and then that's 2 months worth. Then we will be good to go. I'm going to hold off buying any inventions, at least for now. Even though like things like standardized measures would be very good. Same with property tax. Tribal reserve, eh. Omen power is always good. Global food modifier also really good. But right now, I'm saving my money in 1 month. Boom, right now. I'm going to go ahead and turn you into a city. That's going to give me a bunch of citizens when that completes. Also, when that completes, it will open up a new mission called Port Markets. Basically, I have to build 2 markets in any city in the province of Besatus that has a port. So, the game is trying to force me into making markets. I can do that. Looks like we're no longer importing wine. That's a shame. How are people liking the new Livy update of the game? Is it good? I'm currently enjoying it. I feel like it's definitely helping me to care about characters a little bit more. Just by the fact that there's no longer just a huge list of characters and, oh, one family's scorned. Well, there are so many families at this point. I don't care if one family's scorned because, well, there's just too many of them. Let's go ahead and improve our opinion with some of our little subject states. I feel like that's a decent use of our political influence. I'm going to go ahead and start building some libraries in Carthage. Start out with 2. I should also think about what my governor policies are. For instance, I don't really think this one needs to be local autonomy. And the unrest level is pretty low. How long will this city take to build? Until June 7th. Alright, so a little over a year and a half from now. Cool. Guess I could go ahead and start saving up for some inventions. After all, things like import value, all of that just starts to stack, you know? I definitely want to grab that the supply increase by 10% as well. Starting experience is good too. Claim fabrication speed, yeah. Although I am trying to mostly follow the mission system, so I don't necessarily know if I... Well, yeah, who am I kidding? I want to expand. I'm going to go ahead and improve my opinion with Emporia as well. If I can get them up high enough and then get my Senate to agree, I can start to annex those countries. Basically, they just need... Alright, so the Senate would agree at this point, or they'd at least be split, but I could take the tyranny hit. So they just need to like me, have 190 opinion of me, and then I can go ahead and start incorporating them. Perfect. While I'm waiting for more money as well as political influence, I think I'm going to go ahead and... Oops, we're going to no longer import wine. That's a shame. I'm going to go ahead and build a few more troops to this army. I think let's go ahead and go with the slingers for now. I like starting out the battles by having the slingers attack. Alright, so we can get another import route. What are we thinking? Marble? No. Precious metals? Territory? Nah. How are we doing on food? Food's looking good. Alright, I'm gonna go with local slave output. Man, I am trading a bunch from Egypt. I'm all for that, though. They're my friends at the moment. I love the graphic overlay when you go into the trade menu. That you can see how far this trade empire of ours goes. We are bringing stuff in all the way from Pontus. And some stuff in from our own territory, of course. Ooh, uh-oh, there's a rival at court. Lately, our Suffet Himilco Barca has come into conflict with that guy. At every turn and decision, their opinions persistently clashing. If one of them says south, the other will promptly say north. If one of them wants to trade with a neighbor, the other will argue for war. This constant bickering is ruining whatever authority Himilco used to have, and the atmosphere in Carthage is at a breaking point. I'm going to say, fine, I will have it your way then. I'll lose 15 popularity. I'm not the most popular of rulers at the current moment. Or I could say, enough of this nonsense. You are not the Suffet of Carthage. He will lose 10 loyalty. He's the head of the Gisquiad family. And we'll start to see him as a rival. So, I'm going to press that button, and then, hey, I could remove him as a rival. Still don't necessarily know what the point of the rivals are if I can just, like, remove them like that. Ooh, is this new? I've seen them train before, but I've never seen them, like, put up this little stick with the hat on it and try to stab it over and over again. Good for him. Are you doing it over here too? Yeah. Is this a new animation? This has to be a new animation. I've never seen this before. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know if this has been in the game for a while. So all is currently quiet in Carthage, and I actually think that that is where I'm going to have to go ahead and end it for now. I hope you're enjoying the series. I'm really enjoying the new update. I hope that Rome can get really big. If you hope that Rome can get really big too, hit up that like button. Also, go ahead and hit up that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one.